Hey guys, one of the coaches of Unga Academy here, and this is the usual chat that we have every weekend about the financial markets. But before we start, as always, I invite you to please subscribe to our channel and click on that bell to stay updated on the release of all our new content. And hey, why not leave us a like as well? Hi, we are the Unga Academy, and we teach traders how to make money in the markets. Our founder, Andrea Unga, had been struggling with trading for years until he developed his automated trading method, which he used to become the only 4-time world trading champion. Subscribe to our channel for free tips and tricks. So this was another highly volatile week for the stock indexes, which, as you can see, are negative right now. I mean, look in particular at the European indexes, which are losing around 1.5%. If we go and take a look at the chart of the Nasdaq, for example, we can see that historical volatility is right on top of the 100th percentile in both the short and long term. We can also see it if we look at the daily ranges of the price, which are really very wide. So we can sum up by saying that the stock indexes are definitely going through a phase of weakness. The bond sector didn't do very well either, although it is still positive. Let's take a look at the chart of the T-bond. As you can see, it's recovering slightly from last week. However, it is quite clear that the bond sector is also going through a phase of weakness. As we all know, this is obviously related to the fears, or rather the uncertainty of an increase in the interest rates in the United States. So we may expect that this trend will probably continue throughout this current year. Let's now see what's happening in the energy sector. The crude oil derivatives are losing, but in spite of that, they're still close to their all-time highs. On the other hand, natural gas has been rising by almost 17% this week. Now, we all know that this market has really grown a lot in the last year. And we also know that it's exactly this rise, together with that of the whole energy sector, that's causing the strong inflation that we're currently experiencing. On the other hand, the metal sector is doing pretty well. Platinum, that stands out with an increase of almost 7%. And more, in general, all these markets are positive. Gold is also performing well, although by looking at its long-term behavior, we can see that it's been sideways for some time. Among the meat sector, we certainly need to mention lean hogs, which is getting close to its all-time highs. The soft commodity sector instead was negative. Cocoa, in particular, has fallen by about 6% this week. Moving on to the cereals, we can see mainly positive returns. Soybeans and its derivatives, so soybean meal and bean oil, are all close to their all-time highs. As for the currencies, we see that there has been a recovery against the US dollar. Look in particular at the euro dollar, which bounced back at a value of 1.13. The Australian dollar has also risen a lot. Actually, it moved more than any other currency this week. Finally, let's take a look at the cryptocurrencies, with Bitcoin that loses about 4%. However, at the moment, it is still above an important level that seems to be acting as a support. Let's see if it actually managed to reverse its trend. You see, it's come out of this bearish channel, so it could reach these values again and maybe resume growing in the immediate future. Okay, now let's move on to our usual analysis of the implied volatility. We've already seen that historical volatility is currently very high. At the moment, the volatility term structure is in compression. We're close to backwardation, but we haven't entered it yet. Anyway, this is certainly a sign of market instability. If we go and check the value of VIX, it's about 28. We can see that it is certainly a quite high value, even if it's not close to the highs it recently touched. In any case, this is another sign of danger that, together with the term structure of volatility, reveals that the markets are going through a phase of instability. Let's move on to the rollover calendar. There will be several rollovers in the coming week. We have some soft commodity futures, namely soybeans, corn, soybean derivatives, and wheat. We have the metal sector with copper and silver. We also have all the US bonds of all durations. Then we have the energy sector with heating oil and gasoline, and then the cryptocurrencies with Bitcoin and Ethereum. And finally, if you're interested in the world of systematic trading, and maybe you need help to start investing in the markets in a systematic way, well, then I suggest you click on the link that you can find in the description of this video. It'll take you to a page where you can watch a video presentation by Andrea Unga, who will introduce you to the world of systematic trading. You'll be able to get a copy of our best-selling book, The Unga Method, by covering only the shipping costs. And you'll also be able to book a free call with a member of our team. But hey, it's up to you. And with that, this video is over. But before we say goodbye, if you like this video, I ask you as always to please leave us a like, subscribe to our channel, and click on the bell to stay updated on the release of all our new content. And with that, we will see you again next week. Bye-bye.